Thank you, Kelly. Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today. This is such an important issue, as has been mentioned before. This is the issue. This is the most important thing that we as a state government can do. If you are an elected official here, if you are in government, your first obligation is to do justice, and that is what we are here to do today. I was one of the first ones, as was mentioned, Representative Josiah Magnuson, so I represent the District 38 area, Northern Spartanburg County. Very privileged to do that. I think I have some constituents here. Thank you all for being here today. I was one of the first ones, in fact, I believe I was the first one to actually introduce an Equal Protection Act that applied the criminal code to the unborn child in 2018. And we have tried to continue to, foster that growth of that movement over the last few years. Obviously, it's a tough road to hoe, but we built more and more, I think, support for it. And as people come to understand that the unborn child is a human being and should have equal treatment under the law, I think that it becomes obvious and logical that that needs to be the pro-life position here. And I will say that after, of course, I've always been a strong proponent on this issue, as was mentioned. I've also been putting forward amendments on the state budget on Planned Parenthood, trying to defund Planned Parenthood. I think we're hopefully getting to a point with the Supreme Court where that will happen. So we've come a long way, and so I've always had a strong position, but as I've continued to see this issue more and more, see the effects of it, and then as I've had my own kids, I would say I've become even more bold on this and more vocal. And it's funny because I think when you have kids, you see the value for yourself, of the child. Y'all will think I'm crazy, but my little 4-month-old, we communicate, I feel like they talk to you. It might not be the same English words, but they have a mind of their own, and they can think and act for themselves. They're an individual creation of God. And that's what we need to stand up for, is that individuality of the unborn child from conception onward. Here's what I would like to present to you. Abortion must be treated as a homicide crime in state law. There's nothing else we can do. If the baby is a person, if it is a human being, then it deserves the full protection just like anybody else. If, on the other hand, the unborn child is not a full person, and we're not going to treat it that way under the law, and it's not a homicide crime, that we're just going to do the complete exemption for the mother and the only 2 years or something in prison for the doctor, which is so disrespectful to those unborn children. But if that's what we're going to do, then you know what that means? That means the left is right on this issue. That means that all we're really saying is we're going to regulate a woman's body, because it's either a person or it's not. If it's not a person, the law's not going to treat the unborn child as a person, then that's all we're doing, is regulating a woman's body, saying you can or can't have kids. But if you actually are a human being from conception and you deserve the equal rights of justice under the law, then the law should protect that, and then we are justified in treating you as an individual and applying the law equally to you. So here's what I would ask of you, is please support organizations that are willing to say this, that are willing to say that we need abortion to be outlawed as a homicide crime. There are some organizations that will not say that, okay? Doesn't mean we have to go out and go on the rampage against those groups. We don't have to go out and try to be a wrecking ball, but you overcome evil with good. You support the good. You support the ones that are doing the right thing. So I would encourage you and challenge you to do that. We have to lead. We have to project the vision for South Carolina. We have to say it. We have to speak it. We have to put the idea forward in the minds and hearts of our neighbors and friends. As Senator Verda mentioned a moment ago, we have to be the ones to go out and talk about this issue. And we need groups like Personhood SC and others that are willing to lead and willing to project that vision to the people of South Carolina. So we overcome evil with good. We also, as was mentioned, we do all the good that we can. There's a verse in Galatians that says, as you have therefore opportunity, do good unto all men, especially those who are of the household of faith. As you have opportunity, God knows you can't do all the good there is to do in the world. Sometimes you can only do this good, and you need to do that good that God has allowed you to do. The verse in Proverbs is similar. It says, withhold not good to those to whom it is due when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. So again, you have the power in your hand to do some good. The question is, what will you do with that power that God has given to you? God is not calling you to do good that you don't have the ability to do, but He is calling you to do the good that you have the power to do. So I would ask you to do that good. In this case, the good that we can do is to support the bills that have been put forward that do provide equal protection, that do recognize that individual rights and individual life that is conceived in the womb. And I would ask you to not be weary of well-doing. Continue on, continue this fight, and I believe God will give the increase. Thank you all so much for being here.